Green Bay Packers ran away with the division a year ago. They were 13-4 in 2021. Aaron Rodgers is back, but Davante Adams is not. The odds makers have put their number at 11 for 2022. B-Mac, how you feeling about that?
This was a tough one for me, guys. I went back and forth, because this is very, very important. Because what I tell you guys, guess what? I'm following my own instructions. So I will have a nice slip of betting win totals. I went under, and here's why. I'm concerned about how long will it take for Aaron Rodgers to find out who his new number one wide receiver is with Davante Adams playing for the Raiders. Number two, when you look at their schedule, right? They got Tampa, they got the Patriots, they got Buffalo, they got the Vikings twice, they got Tennessee, they got Philly, they got the Rams, they got the Cowboys. That's a very, very difficult schedule, especially when you're looking at some turnover when it comes to the wide receivers on that team. I see them winning double-digit games. I see them getting to the playoffs. But you talk about over 11 ball games, I'm not quite ready to say that, so I'm going under.
Based off their division, I'm going to go over, B-Mac, because I love what they do within the division. And if I'm a cornerback, you better be able to run at least 4-3 because they have some stretch vertical options out there on the perimeter. Rookie Christian Watson, rookie Romeo Doubs out of Nevada. Both of those guys can really get up the field and go. So we'll see Aaron Rodgers work touchdown to check down the passing game. We know they can run the football. I love what they do in the secondary. They are the most complete team in the NFC North. So for that reason, I can see them going over based off their playing in this division. And they're going to sweep a couple of guys and rack up some of these wins.
Yeah, no offseason drama for them this offseason after a sub-500 season a year ago. The Vikings have a new coach. They added to the secondary early in the draft, added an edge from the division in former Packers Zadarius Smith, and again have Kirk Cousins under center. The Minnesota win total is at 9. B-Mac, over or under?
I'm jumping over this total, taking the over. This team is super talented. It might be safe to say, guys, this is the most talented team in their division on both sides of the football. An explosive offense when you look at the personnel. Kevin O'Connell is an offensive-minded coach. We might see some big-time numbers from his quarterback and his pass catchers, specifically speaking, Jordan Jefferson. And you can't forget about Mr. Cook, Cookie Monster, Dalvin Cook. And then adding Zadarius Smith, along with a healthy Danielle Hunter. This is a team that's going to cause a lot of nightmares for opposing offenses they will face on the defensive side. So I'm taking the over, and I can tell you this much, similar to what I said with Washington. The first 4 ball games is going to tell you everything you need to know about the Vikings. They start off with a divisional foe, the Green Bay Packers at home. You travel Monday night to Philadelphia. Then you have Detroit, and you have a very, very up-and-coming, talented New Orleans Saints teams as well. If this is a team that can handle that 4-game stretch, this will be an easy cover for me.
Listen, man, I got to go under, B-Mac. And this is one of these this is one of these under push situations here because I feel like 9 is the number for Minnesota. And I'm going to tell you why. They have Mr. Iceberg Lettuce at quarterback and Kirk Cousins. Nothing but empty calories. He's the corn vegetable of quarterbacks. Nothing but empty calories. So he's going to rack up the numbers, but it won't matter. And I think the defense, you brought up Danielle Hunter, you brought up Zadarius Smith. Excellent pass rushers. They're moving to a 3-4. So I wonder how that defensive line is going to fare. I know you can, sort of go between both the 4-3 and 3-4, but I worry about their defense more so than anything. And Kirk Cousins, to me, is going to do just enough to keep you where you can be 500. But now with 17 games, you can't go 500. So I say 9 and 8 is where I'm capping your Minnesota Vikings.
Emory, part of your argument for the Green Bay Packers was the division. It's basically a 2-team division for the NFC North, right? So with that being said, you got Chicago, you got Detroit. Detroit, I think, would be more competitive. But those are teams they should, I won't say easily handle, but those should be winnable ball games within the division. And Kirk Cousins, yes, I understand. I heard your complaints about Kirk. Captain Kirk is what I like to call him. But last year, he played pretty good football. They just couldn't finish ball games. Kirk Cousins balled out. If you look at his numbers, you look at how efficient he was, he did more than enough. They just could not finish the drill late in the 4th quarter. And hopefully we see a change when it comes to that display with this team. But under 9 wins, Skull Nation, get them.
B-Mac, I feel like I have no choice but to let Emory go first here so then you can rebut whatever he says. So let's talk about the Bears, all right? I'm trying to give you guys both equal opportunity here. The Bears appear to be hoarding salary cap space, if really nothing else. They finished 6-11 in 2021. They have the least expensive offense in football heading towards training camp. That cap space ain't scoring any touchdowns. The number is 6.5. Emory, You going over and under?
I'm going under. And they are a young football team. That two deep is so young, filled with rookies. Their offensive line is super young on the two deep. And yes, 6 wins, I think they'll win. However, it'll be an impressive 6 wins because the most important thing for Chicago is to find out whether or not Justin Fields takes that next step forward. And I think he will because he's going into the season as an unquestioned guy, no pseudo competition, looking over his shoulder. He's going to be the guy. They're going to build an offense around him, whatever offense that's going to be. But they are so young. So expect the bumps, the growing pains, and maybe toward the back end of the season or their bye is late, we'll see them progress. Where 2023, we'll say, oh, this is a team to watch. But right now, to your point, they're inexpensive. They're young. I see them going under 6.5.
Yeah, this is easy for me. I'm sorry, Bears fans. What's Joe Musso? They might as well get ready for the Bulls season because getting and looking forward to anything positive with the Bears is going to really hurt your feelings. A young quarterback, as Emory mentioned, a lot of young talent around your young quarterback. That's not good. You need to have some veteran experience, some veteran talent to help your quarterback grow in the National Football League. I do believe in Justin Fields. I think he will have a bright future, but I think this organization, they did him a disservice in trying to help him get to those heights. If you look at the draft, they had so many needs. They just attacked the defensive side. Via free agency, you guys just mentioned, they didn't spend any money. They didn't spend any money. My thing is this, if you got a young quarterback, follow the footsteps of some of these other organizations with young quarterbacks, looking at what the Buffalo Bills did with Josh Allen, looking at what Arizona did with Kyler Murray, getting him DeAndre Hopkins. You got to find a way to get your guy a proven number one. I like Mooney, but Mooney can't do it by himself. So me personally, like I said, if you're a Bears fan, you live in Chicago, you live anywhere in America, just get ready for the Bulls season. They signed Zach LaVine back, so that's a positive.
All right, so the Lions, meantime, were a 3-win team last year, but odds makers have Detroit doubling that total to 6 for the coming campaign. They kept former Wolverine Aiden Hutchinson in the state of Michigan to torment quarterbacks and again have Jared Goff under center to run their offense. Emory, your thoughts on 6 as a Detroit win total for the coming season?
Going over that number, and to B-Mac, this is why I have the Vikings finishing with 9 wins. I think they split with Detroit. And the reason why, that offensive line is excellent for Detroit. They are 4 deep in the backfield. They can run the heck out of football. They're going to be double tight end sets all across the field. We know they can push the football at the short to intermediate level, so they'll play complementary football. Defensively, they'll take the biggest step forward this year. Aiden Hutchinson coming off the edge. Keep an eye out for James Houston, the 6th-round pick coming from Jackson State. He was a terrific edge rusher at Jackson State, played off the ball at the NFLPA game and at the Shrine game, and was outstanding. So he should be able to start next to Derek Barnes, who's a heat-seeking missile at the second level, and they got better in the secondary. We should hopefully see the best of Jeff Okudah this year. I'm hoping so, but I think this team is trekking in the right direction, and I think they'll get 7 wins, and one of those wins will be against Minnesota.
Stop it. I agree with you, but you lost me when you talk about splitting with the Vikings. I disagree with that. Offensive line-wise, yes. Listen, if you don't understand what they have on the offensive line, go look at their roster, look at their personnel, look at their depth chart. They're extremely stacked. And with that being said, DeAndre Swift better have a heck of a year. He better have at least 1,200 yards based on the guys that will be paving the way for him running the football. But the main reason why I'm going over, guys, is this. The first 4 ball games, they got Philly, Washington, Minnesota, Seattle. Worst case scenario, if they split those 4 games, right? And then if you look at throughout their schedule, other winnable games, you got Chicago twice. We just talked about how bad potentially Chicago can be. That should be a sweep. Then you got the Jets, you got the Giants, you got Jacksonville. Those are winnable ball games, not to mention a surprise game here or there throughout their schedule. This is a team that had a lot of heartbreaking losses last year. Watching Detroit play was like watching a Lifetime movie. It was sad, it was annoying, and you knew exactly what was going to happen at the end. Get this, won't see any Lifetime movies this year with this ball club, so I go over.
Yeah, Patrick, by the way, Patrick Peterson, that's B-Mac's boy right there. He's down with the Vikings this year. There's no doubt about it. An 8-win team, B-Mac, from a year ago. 8 wins.
B-Mac's big on the Lifetime movies. Who knew?
I hate him, by the way. I was forced to watch him.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, likely.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.